Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you found yourself searching for the right word during a conversation, and it just doesn't come. You stand there, feeling a little foggy, maybe even a bit frustrated. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. After 60, it's easy to brush those moments off as just getting older. But what if I told you that some of the habits we've developed over the years, habits we don't even think twice about, could actually be silently damaging our brain? You see, the brain is a lot like a garden. It needs care, stimulation, and the right environment to keep growing strong and healthy. But just like in a garden, some weeds can sneak in, quietly, slowly, until one day, you realize things just aren't blooming like they used to. In today's video, we're going to talk about 4 everyday habits that might seem harmless but are actually working against your brain, especially after the age of 60. These are things that can sneak up on us, and most of the time, we don't even realize they're doing harm. But don't worry, this isn't about fear. It's about awareness, empowerment, and giving you some simple tools to help your mind stay clear, sharp, and alive. Before we dive in, can I ask you for a small favor? If this kind of content is helpful for you, it would mean the world to me if you gave this video a quick like, hit that share button with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel. I'm on a journey to reach 1,000 subscribers so I can keep sharing more uplifting and practical videos just for you. Your support really helps more than you know. Alright, let's jump right in, starting with the first habit that could be quietly stealing your mental clarity. Let's talk about multitasking. Now, I know that might sound surprising. After all, for most of our lives, multitasking was seen as a good thing. We balanced careers, families, bills, housework, all at once. And we were proud of it, right? But here's the twist, science is now showing us that multitasking doesn't actually make us more productive. In fact, it might be harming our brains more than helping. Every time you switch between tasks, like reading an email, then checking the news, then going back to your grocery list, your brain has to stop, reorient, and restart. It's like trying to drive 5 different cars all at once. Over time, this constant shifting actually wears down the part of your brain responsible for memory and attention. That mental fog feeling? Yeah, multitasking can play a big role in that. What's the alternative? Try focusing on just one thing at a time. When you're cooking, just cook. When you're talking to someone, put down the phone or turn off the TV. Give your attention fully to one task, one moment, one person. You'll feel calmer, more focused, and, believe it or not, your memory will start to feel sharper too. It's not always easy to slow down in this fast-paced world, but trust me, your brain will thank you. Now let's move on to the second habit, and this one might feel a little closer to home. It's something most of us deal with, but very few talk about openly: isolation. Have you ever gone a whole day, or maybe even a few days, without really talking to someone? Not just a polite, good morning, to the mailman or a quick chat with the cashier, but real connection. It's something many older adults face, especially after retirement, after the kids are grown, or after the loss of a loved one. And while solitude can sometimes be peaceful, too much of it can quietly chip away at the brain. You see, our brains are wired for connection. Conversations, laughter, storytelling, all of these things activate different parts of the brain. When we don't get enough social interaction, the brain can actually start to shrink in key areas related to memory, reasoning, and emotional control. And here's the part that really hit me: even if you feel used to being alone, your brain still craves those connections underneath the surface. It doesn't have to be big or dramatic, just a short phone call with an old friend, joining a local book club, or even chatting with a neighbor on a walk. These simple moments of human connection can be some of the most powerful medicine for your mind. And if you're someone who's thinking, "But I don't have anyone to talk to," I want you to know this: it's never too late to reach out. There are community centers, church groups, online discussion forums, so many welcoming spaces for people just like you, looking to share stories, laughter, and life. Now, while we're on this journey together, take a moment to think about your own day-to-day. Are you juggling tasks constantly, switching from one thing to the next without truly finishing anything? Do you find yourself spending more time alone than you'd like, maybe feeling a little disconnected? If so, I want you to know this isn't about blame or guilt. These habits sneak into our lives because life gets busy, unpredictable, and sometimes really hard. But once we notice them, we can do something about them. That's the power of awareness. And you don't need to change everything overnight. Just one small shift, like choosing to finish your breakfast without checking your phone, or calling a friend this week for a real catch-up, that alone can be a step in the right direction. Now that we've opened the door to how multitasking and isolation can affect your brain health, there's more to explore. Let's keep going, because there's another habit that often flies under the radar, but it can quietly do some serious harm if we're not careful. And that's poor sleep. Now, I know sleep can become a bit more complicated as we get older. Maybe you find yourself waking up more often during the night, or getting sleepy earlier in the evening, or even tossing and turning more than you used to. It's common, and it can feel frustrating. But what many people don't realize is how deeply sleep is connected to the health of your brain. When you sleep, your brain goes to work. It's not resting the way we might think. It's actually cleaning itself out, flushing away toxins that build up during the day. These toxins, if left behind, are believed to be linked to memory loss and even more serious conditions like Alzheimer's. Think of sleep like housekeeping for your brain. If you don't get enough of it, your brain can't do its nightly cleaning shift, and over time, things start to feel cloudy, forgetful, or even emotionally off. Now, I get it, when you've had a lifetime of responsibility, it's hard to suddenly make sleep a top priority. But this might be the moment to gently shift your thinking. Because getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's about protecting your mind for the long haul. So, what can help? Start by setting a consistent bedtime, yes, just like we used to do with our kids. Your brain loves routine. Try turning off screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Instead, pick up a calming book, listen to soft music, or do a bit of gentle stretching. If your mind races at night, writing your thoughts in a journal before bed can help you let go of the day. And let's not forget about your environment. A quiet, dark, cool room works wonders. If your bedroom has too much light or noise, consider blackout curtains or a white noise machine. Sometimes small changes make the biggest difference. But more than anything, give yourself permission to value sleep. Don't wear sleeplessness like a badge of honor. You've worked hard your whole life. This is your time to rest, restore, and renew. Your brain will thank you for every peaceful hour it gets. Now, this next one might come as a bit of a surprise, because it's something we often do with good intentions. But it can slowly chip away at our mental sharpness without us even realizing it. I'm talking about a lack of challenge. That's right, your brain, just like your muscles, needs exercise. And I'm not talking about solving crossword puzzles or memorizing the capitals of the world. Sure, those things are helpful, but real brain challenge comes from learning, trying, doing. When we stop giving our minds new material to work with, it's like a car that sits in the garage too long. It starts to rust. The battery dies. It loses its spark. Have you ever said to yourself, "I'm too old to learn something new"? If so, I gently want to challenge that. Because guess what? That's not true. Your brain is still capable of creating new pathways, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. It's called neuroplasticity, and it means your mind can still grow, change, and adapt. But it needs new input to do that. So maybe that means picking up a new hobby you've always been curious about, painting, photography, even gardening in a new way. Maybe it means learning to use that smartphone a little more confidently or finally tackling email without asking the grandkids for help every time. Maybe it's signing up for a class at the local community center or learning to play an instrument. These things don't have to be hard or perfect. They just have to be new. And here's something that might surprise you: even watching a documentary about a topic you've never explored, or switching up your daily routine, can be a mental workout. Take a different route on your morning walk. Try cooking a recipe from a different culture. Listen to a podcast that makes you think or feel something new. The goal isn't to become an expert. The goal is simply to keep your mind curious, engaged, and alive. Because boredom, routine, and a life on autopilot? Those are the silent enemies of a sharp mind. So if you've been thinking, my best years are behind me, I'm here to tell you, they're not. In fact, you might just be standing on the edge of the most interesting chapter of your life. Let yourself lean into it. Let yourself try. Give your brain a little adventure. And if that little voice of doubt shows up, you know, the one that says, "You're too old for this," I want you to look it square in the face and say, "Watch me." You have wisdom, stories, humor, insight, all the ingredients of a strong mind. You just need to keep stirring the pot. We've covered a lot so far: multitasking, isolation, poor sleep, and not challenging the brain. And as we talk about these, I want you to know, this isn't about being perfect. It's about becoming more aware. More intentional. You're not broken, and you're not too late. You're just stepping into the truth that your brain needs care just like the rest of you does. And caring for it doesn't mean big dramatic overhauls. It means paying attention. It means asking, is this habit helping me or hurting me, and then taking small steps to shift in a better direction. If you're still with me, and I hope you are, I want to say thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. That's the first step toward real change. Let's keep this momentum going, because we still have one more habit to look at. And this one? It might be the most surprising of them all. This last habit is one many people don't even think about, because on the surface, it seems completely harmless. But when left unchecked, it can drain your mental energy, cloud your thinking, and even lower your mood over time. And that habit is holding on to resentment. Now, hear me out. This isn't about blaming anyone or judging your feelings. Life, especially after 60, comes with its fair share of ups and downs. We've all been hurt. We've all experienced unfair treatment, broken trust, or disappointment, sometimes from the people we love the most. You might be carrying memories from decades ago, things you never got closure on, or words you wish you could take back, or wish someone else would. And I'm not here to tell you to forget. Because some things just can't be forgotten. But what I am saying, with love and respect, is this: you don't have to carry it anymore. Resentment, bitterness, and unresolved anger, those aren't just emotional burdens. They take up real space in your mind. They use up your focus, your clarity, your peace. And over time, they can wear down your brain's ability to regulate stress, make healthy decisions, and stay balanced. Think about it like this: every time you revisit an old hurt in your mind, it's like pressing your finger on a bruise. Over and over again. That stress hormone, cortisol, gets released. Your heart rate rises. Your breathing changes. Your brain goes into a state of alert, even if the event happened years ago. It's exhausting. And the longer we stay in that cycle, the more it chips away at our mental well-being. We become more forgetful, more distracted, more emotionally reactive. It's not just about feeling grumpy, it's about protecting your brain health. So what can you do instead? Forgiveness. Not because the other person deserves it. Not because what happened didn't matter. But because you deserve peace. Now, I know the word forgiveness can feel heavy. Sometimes it feels impossible. But it doesn't have to be a big, dramatic event. It can start quietly, just inside of you. It can sound like, "I'm tired of carrying this." Or, "I can't change the past, but I can choose what I hold on to today." And here's the thing, letting go doesn't mean pretending something didn't hurt. It means you're choosing to stop reliving it. You're choosing to protect your brain, your body, your spirit. You're choosing peace over pain. There's a beautiful freedom in that. And the older we get, the more we realize, our time is precious. Why spend it stuck in the past when we have today, right now, full of possibilities? If someone comes to mind while I'm saying this, maybe a family member, an old friend, a spouse, or even yourself, take a deep breath. You don't need to fix it all today. But you can begin. Even a small mental shift can set you free. So let's take a moment. Put your hand over your heart, just for a second. Feel it beating. That's your life force. That's your now. And it deserves clarity, lightness, and joy. Let's not let resentment rob you of that. Now, I want to pause for just a second and say this clearly. If any of these habits sound familiar, please don't beat yourself up. You're human. You've lived. You've adapted. And sometimes, the very things we once relied on for survival, staying busy, keeping our guard up, pushing through exhaustion, those things don't serve us anymore in this new chapter of life. But you're here now. And that tells me something beautiful, you care. You're willing to learn, reflect, and make changes. And that kind of mindset? That's what keeps your brain strong. That's what keeps your heart young. So let's take a deep breath together, right here. In and out. You've just given your brain something powerful, attention. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. If you've been feeling foggy lately, more forgetful, or just mentally tired, it's okay. You're not broken. You're not fading. There are real things you can do, starting today, to take back your clarity, your focus, your joy. Things like unplugging from multitasking, reaching out to connect with others, honoring your sleep, challenging your mind with new experiences, and letting go of mental weight that no longer serves you. And here's what I want you to remember most of all, it's never too late. It's never too late to nourish your brain. Never too late to feel sharp again. Never too late to wake up with energy and purpose. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, your mind still has so much life left in it. And the world still needs your wisdom. Imagine this next chapter of your life feeling clearer, lighter, more focused. Imagine walking into a room and remembering exactly why you came in. Imagine deep conversations, meaningful connections, new hobbies, peaceful sleep, and a calm, strong mind to guide you through it all. You don't need to do it perfectly. Just one small step at a time. One better habit. One deeper breath. One lighter thought. And now, before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these habits in your own life? Or maybe you found ways to strengthen your brain that have worked for you? Share your thoughts or even your questions in the comments below. I read every one, and this community is here to support each other. And if this video gave you something helpful, something hopeful, I'd be so grateful if you could give it a like, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you know, and it helps me keep creating these videos to support your journey. Because you deserve guidance that respects your age, your strength, and your story. You deserve to feel mentally clear, emotionally balanced, and deeply alive, at any age. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Go gently with yourself. Be kind to your thoughts. And remember, this is just the beginning of a beautiful, brain-healthy life. I'm so proud of you.